What good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got the Dallas Cowboys made an embarrassing trade. Let's check this out, bro.
We'll probably do a couple of things.
Man, like I still don't understand why the fuck they traded for Jonathan Mingo. I really don't.
Carolina's guys, Jonathan Mingo, you know, yeah. There's receivers that could be on.
Like unless CeeDee Lamb is gonna be out for like the next couple weeks or so, like I still don't understand why they did this. Like, cause I know CeeDee Lamb injured his shoulder, you know what I'm saying, this past Sunday, but I think he's still gonna be ready to go for the next game.
Could still be moved.
So I don't. This nigga wearing the Dak Prescott jersey. Oh my gosh, Mike, come on.
Every single team
I know you're a Cowboys fan, but bro, even I wouldn't wear a Dak Prescott jersey now.
The Cowboys wouldn't do anything to further screw up their team, and unfortunately, they just made one of the most embarrassing trades of the year. So before we get to the content, I want to apologize to you guys. I don't typically enjoy uploading back-to-back uploads on the same team, but in this case, the trade is so freaking bad that I really don't have much of a choice but to do it. Of course, I'm going to be covering each and every trade today in a later video, so if you're interested in that,
we got a lot of content to cover today, bro.
Subscribed and have my notifications on.
Shit, the grind don't stop.
At the moment it goes up, and now that we got all that out of the way,
alright, W intro, and I know he gonna, you know what I'm saying, have that little. Okay, yeah, you gonna move past that.
For the sponsor. Mic check one.
The sponsorship.
What's going on, everybody? If you've been watching this YouTube channel over the past year and a half, you'd know that I haven't been the biggest fan of the Carolina Panthers' decisions. And this goes all the way back to the Bryce Young trade. Even back then, the moment the Bryce Young trade
like, bro, that trade still doesn't make sense to me, bro. Like, you trade away the quarterback that you're trading up to get, you're trading away his number one target. Like, bro, they left Bryce Young high out to dry, bro. Like, they did not want this nigga to succeed, bro. He had Adam Thielen as his number one wide receiver last year. Like, bro, y'all would have been better off just keeping DJ Moore and just either A, drafting a quarterback that year if there was still a good quarterback on the board, or B, wait till next year where you could potentially draft Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, or Michael Penix. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that, bro.
In a very difficult situation, a team that didn't really have any.
Like, they are really just,
if you guys remember, the Panthers
just breaking this team down, bro.
Overall pick in the 2023.
They need to get my boy Jadeveon Clowney out of there too.
The 2023 NFL draft, the number one overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft, and a second round pick in the 2025 NFL draft for the number one overall pick in the 2023 draft, so they could take Bryce Young. And man, this trade aged like milk. It's really difficult to say whose fault this is. Truly, did Bryce Young
it's the GM
from the very beginning, or was he just placed in a terrible situation?
Well, I mean, it's kind of the same as the Sam Darnold situation, Baker Mayfield. They both were, you know what I'm saying, just complete dog shit on the Panthers, and now they're on better teams. Now they're having the best, you know what I'm saying, stint of their careers. I think that's gonna be the same thing with Bryce Young, bro. He's got to get out of Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Go to a team like maybe the Saints or the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Well, probably not the Saints, because the Saints, I don't know what the fuck going on with them, but he'll have better weapons on the Saints. You know what I'm saying? With Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, I feel like they could, you know what I'm saying, draft another receiver. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Bryce should go to a team like that to be able to see how good he truly is, bro. Because Panthers, bro, they were dog shit from the moment they drafted Bryce Young, bro.
More to do with the organization than Bryce Young. After all, I really don't know what quarterback would succeed in a situation where his top wide receiver is a 34-year-old Adam Thielen. I don't know what quarterback would succeed if he had 3 completely different head coaches within his first 20 games of his career. If you want to go back even further, I mean, the Panthers have just made some really terrible decisions with their organization.
Suck the soul out of
McCaffrey trade made a lot of sense to me, but one of the biggest mistakes the Panthers made was not trading Brian Burns to.
They're never gonna get a ring, bro. Dead ass. They're never gonna get a ring.
Roster ever since. I understand the hiring behind Dave Canales, hoping that he could resurrect Bryce Young's career, and Dan Morgan actually did a solid job in the offseason, making the Carolina Panthers marginally better, at least on the offensive line, good enough for the 20th best offensive line, following the signing of Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt. But things haven't been smooth sailing in the Dan Morgan era either. On one hand, this man's hands are completely tied. I mean, there's really very little he can do. He has no assets for the future and has one of the worst rosters in the NFL. So making sneaky trades like the trade for Deontay Johnson in the offseason to give Bryce Young a fighting chance during the regular season are some of the only moves he was able to make. But even then, the Carolina Panthers traded Deontay Johnson to the Baltimore Ravens for a 5th round pick, which I said wasn't necessarily the greatest idea, considering the fact that Bryce Young needs as much help as he possibly can get in order to develop.
At least the Panthers won, you know what I'm saying, this past Sunday.
For a 5th round
but
pick wasn't worth the squeeze.
Yeah, I'll be better off just tanking at this point.
Back a 5th round pick to Carolina for Johnson and a 6th round pick, and Baltimore is one of the best teams in the NFL. So
I love those helmets, bro. We rocking them shits this Thursday too.
For the most part, we can all agree that the Carolina Panthers don't really have a track record of making the most intelligent trades, whether it was in the Dan Morgan era or the Scott Fitterer era, although I do think Dan Morgan is a slight improvement over Scott Fitterer. And here comes the Dallas Cowboys. You guys know I'm a diehard Cowboy fan. I made a 15-minute long video dissecting all their issues and my expectations for the Cowboys for the foreseeable future. In that video, I pretty much discussed how the Dak Prescott era is over. I mean, between Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons, this is a team that is going to have absolutely no cap space until Dak Prescott's contract expires. They're already 3-5 this year.
Yeah, bro. Like they gotta get rid of Dak. Now that Dak's on a new contract, I think they can trade him. You know what I'm saying? So either that or trade Micah Parsons, bro. Because there's no way you're gonna be able to re-sign him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you already paid Dak, you already paid CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? Trayvon Diggs is on contract too, which he looking like he's not as deserving of that contract because he's been getting cooked this season. Now he has been dealing with injuries, but bro, if you gonna talk shit, you know what I'm saying, especially to a reporter who's doing their job, like bro, and you come out and just keep getting cooked. You allowed 2 touchdowns against the Falcons, bro. Like if you gonna talk shit, at least back it up, bro. You know what I'm saying?
For the foreseeable future. On top of that, I just didn't expect this.
But they're gonna have to do something.
The fact that they lost a huge part of their identity, and that's their defense, their defensive coordinator.
Defense been getting cooked this season.
Went to the Washington Commanders. Some of their players retired. So I'm not gonna get to that in this video, but you don't need to be a genius to realize that the Cowboys.
And they shouldn't have even beat the Steelers.
I mean, you're 3-5 with your starting quarterback, and now you have to go into the toughest stretch of your season with your backup quarterback, Cooper Rush. And I'm not necessarily sure I feel very confident in us being able to turn it around. I'm not confident that we could even compete with the Philadelphia Eagles or the Washington Commanders in our division. And it happens. It's fine. We just need to make the right decision so we can retool this roster as soon as possible. Not have Jerry Jones consistently delude us by saying stuff like this.
All in. All in. All in. We're all in with these young guys coming up. We're all in with knowing that you have to go.
Now, I will say the Cowboys.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard an owner say, bro.
The area that the Cowboys have always consistently thrived in is the NFL draft. I mean, in 2019, they traded their 1st round pick for Amari Cooper, which was a remarkable trade for them. But they also selected Tony Pollard in the 4th round of that draft. In 2020, they drafted.
And now
CeeDee
both of them
Lamb,
are not even on the
Trayvon
team
Diggs,
anymore.
Neville Gallimore and Tyler Biadasz. In 2021, they famously selected.
Biadasz ain't there no more either.
They missed on their 2nd round pick, Calvin Joseph, but then they selected Osa Odigizua in the 3rd round. 2022, they drafted Tyler Smith, Jalen Tolbert, and Jake Ferguson with their 4th round pick before taking DeMaron Bland with their 5th round pick. Even their
when is Deron Bland coming back, bro?
4th round picks especially, they selected Dak Prescott with the 4th round pick in 2016 and started out the season 8-1. Dak Prescott won Rookie of the Year. I know it was a very long time ago, but he was a remarkable quarterback in his rookie year. But lately, for some reason, this team just doesn't value its draft picks anymore. For instance, 1 year ago, the Dallas Cowboys decided to trade a 4th round pick to the San Francisco 49ers for Trey Lance.
Yeah.
And while
Niners fleeced them on that one. What the fuck? Hold up.
49ers for Trey Lance. And while
how are you You're not even under center. How are you dropping this? Bro, yeah, they're fucked, bro. The Cowboys are fucked.
I think that maybe Trey Lance was at least going to be a backup QB. All Trey Lance does is fetch water for Dak Prescott and eat a significant chunk of the Cowboys' salary cap space. So following the Cowboys' most recent loss to the Atlanta Falcons, Jerry Jones said something that we weren't really expecting.
We'll probably do a couple of things this week.
note, but if things work out the way we'd like for them to. But bottom line is that if you knew exactly what to do, then this wouldn't be the game it is in the NFL.
And to be honest, what
Bro,
kind of move could you really expect from a team that's 3-5? Has their
Bro, him saying that makes it seem like he was about to trade for a goddamn, you know what I'm saying, about to trade for, you know what I'm saying, Tyreek Hill or some shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? But then you go out and trade for Jonathan Mingo? Really, bro? That's the only move y'all can make? Like, I know who's not even top 100 wide receiver in the NFL.
This would typically
Like, bro,
sellers at the deadline, and it's okay so long as you're realistic with where you're at. The Cowboys aren't even the second best team in their own division. I mean, hell, you can make a very legitimate argument that the New York Giants could potentially finish with a better record than them at this point. They're just way
I
too
could
many
definitely
holes
see
on
that.
this team to even make it to the playoffs. There's no defensive identity, there's no run game, and you're expecting your backup QB to essentially drop back 40 to 45 times a game because there's really nothing else for your team to do. And you can blame this on Mike McCarthy, but it's a roster construction issue. Typically, the Cowboys have really talented rosters with horrible coaching. In this case, they have mid-tier coaching and a terrible roster.
like, I still don't understand why they didn't bring in Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying? That was rumored to happen over the offseason. Still never happened. So, this offseason, they better bring in Bill Belichick, bro. Dead ass. Or Jerry Jones needs to be out the door. I ain't gonna lie to you, gang. He should have been gone like years ago. Same goes for Mike McCarthy. Like 2 seasons ago, he should have been gone.
Some way, Jerry Jones led a team that was getting fleeced for the past 2 years in trades, completely fleece him. So a huge part of the Carolina Panthers rebuild was taking Jonathan Mingo. And you typically see this occur a lot in the NFL. Whenever a team selects a quarterback in the first round of the NFL draft, they might circle back and select a wide receiver in the second round of the NFL draft. This gives fans hope, thinking that these two are going to grow together and, you know, be a nice little tandem for the future. And that's what the Panthers were hoping for with Jonathan Mingo out of Ole Miss, a 6'2" wide receiver who ran a 4.46 40-yard dash.
Just hasn't really panned out, bro.
And could easily fit into the slot. Unfortunately, Jonathan Mingo's career has been anything but. As a matter of fact, this is his best highlight so far. I don't know how you receive this in reverse, but that should give you an idea of the type of player the Cowboys are getting. So far, in Jonathan Mingo's career, he's only played 24 games, and in those 24 games, he has 539 receiving yards, no touchdowns, and 55 receptions. A fan might see this and say,
okay, he's a draft bust, or he just needs a change of scenery.
Now, the Dallas Cowboys decided.
Yeah, I'm not sure that change of scenery should be Dallas, which Dallas, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. Who's to say that Dallas isn't worse than the Panthers this year? I'm just keeping it a buck, bro. Like the Panthers are 2-7, and I think that the Cowboys are what 3-6, 3-5. Like, bro, the records aren't really that different, so...
4th round pick for Jonathan Mingo and a 7th round pick. And the reason why this is so frustrating is if you compare this trade to other wide receiver trades in the NFL, Deontay Johnson in a 6th round pick was traded for a 5th round pick. Amari Cooper in a 6th round pick was traded for a 3rd round pick. Devontae Adams was traded for a 4th round pick that could become a 3rd round pick. DeAndre Hopkins was traded for a 5th round pick. And now you have Jonathan Mingo in a 7th round pick that was getting traded for a 4th round pick, who's not even close to the tier of wide receiver of any of these teams. Now, why would the Cowboys do this? Well, according to Adam Schefter, the Cowboys really value Jonathan Mingo.
Okay, well, in regards to Mingo.
Bro, what? Hold up, I know, hold on. I must need to clean my ears or some shit.
Why would the Cowboys do this?
What did he say?
According to Adam Schefter, the Cowboys really value Jonathan Mingo.
Okay, well.
What? Bro, what value can a nigga with no career touchdowns have for your team? Dead ass. How? Like, bro, I could not think how much worse can the Cowboys possibly get. We've officially found our answer, bro.
Well, in regards to Mingo,
yo,
this is a guy
what
the Cowboys
the
really
hell?
liked coming out of him. I think you touched on a key factor. They liked him in the draft, and he's got 2 years left on his rookie deal. The Cowboys get Mingo in a 7th from the Panthers for a 4th. But compare and contrast that. The Cowboys are paying in that range, but I think they did so because, number one, they like the player, and number two, He's on his rookie contract, so you get the deal.
It's just crazy when you just look at this entire body of work, right? One, the Cowboys don't need a wide receiver. It's not going to move the needle that much. The 4th round pick would have been way more valuable in this case than a 2nd round pick.
Let's be honest, bro. This wide receiver draft coming up, bro. This wide receiver class, like, it's so fucking stacked that they could have waited to the draft to get another receiver, bro. You got Luther Burton, Travis Hunter, you got, you know what I'm saying, T-Mac, you got Igbuka, you got Trayshawn Holden, Tez Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, there's so many stacked receivers in this class, bro. Like, I don't understand why the fuck they keep doing this dumb shit each and every year.
That has fallen short of expectations.
Like, bro, only Dallas, gang. Only Dallas.
Panthers, who have had a history of being fleeced by other teams, whether that was the Chicago Bears, the New York Giants, or the Baltimore Ravens. But also you need to consider the fact that the 4th round pick that the Cowboys gave up for Jonathan Mingo is a very valuable 4th round pick. This is a team that is going to finish at the top of the NFL draft. Without a doubt, become a top 10 pick in this year's NFL draft, which means that 4th round pick is more like a late 3rd round pick that the Cowboys just gave up. The Cowboys have had a lot of success with their 4th round picks too, selecting players like Anthony Hitchens, Dorrance Armstrong, Dak Prescott, Jake Ferguson, and Dalton Schultz with their 4th round pick. And now they don't have a 2025 4th round pick because they decided to overpay for a wide receiver that has fallen short of expectations. You could have gotten such better players for that 4th round pick if you're willing to part ways with it. It's just moves like this that really make me feel pessimistic as a Dallas Cowboy fan, because all you really want to see is that your front office is making intelligent decisions. I said this about the Chicago Bears when they traded Khalil Mack to the LA Chargers. I said this about the Washington Commanders when they hired Dan Quinn, selected Jaden Daniels, and brought in Cliff Kingsbury before going on that crazy shopping spree in the offseason. You just want to look at your team, understand the situation that they're in, and get behind the decisions that they're making. And in the case of the Dallas Cowboys, I really can't say the same. The Cowboys should have been selling on their best players, because even when this team was at full strength, they were terrible. But instead, they decided to give up one of their best assets for a player that might not even scratch 100 yards receiving this year. In an offseason, you can expect a huge coaching change as well. For the Carolina Panthers, you get an A+ for this. You literally just got like a late 3rd round pick for a player that really
completely fleeced, bro.
This year. For the Dallas Cowboys, I can't even give this an F. I give this a G, an H, a Z. This is like one of the worst trades that you could have made. It makes no sense for where you are as a team. It's a huge overpay. The juice isn't worth the squeeze in terms of the player that you're getting. He's not going to be doing much for your team at all whatsoever. You could have gotten a much better player instead for this draft pick. There's other trades we need to cover because our division rival just made a huge trade as well. Marshawn Lattimore is officially a member of the Washington Commanders. I'm going to leave a link to that in the end screen and cover a lot of trades in that video. And aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.
Hey, man, I want to know what you guys think, bro. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what you guys think about this Dallas trade. Like, in my opinion, bro, like, they would have been better off keeping that 4th round pick. I'm going to be for real. Like, it seemed like they're just really just trying to give up everything, bro. Like, they just stopped giving a fuck and just don't want to win. Like, that, I feel like that's the thing each and every year, bro. They do, like, this is the complete opposite of how Dallas has played, though, in the like seasons past, bro. They usually are good in the regular season and then just shit the bed in the playoffs. But it's like the complete opposite this year, and I think a common denominator is Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy. I feel like both of them need to be gone and out the fucking door, like dead ass, or Dallas is never gonna sniff a Super Bowl ever again, bro. Like, real shit. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Y'all let me know what other NFL videos y'all want me to react to. Without further ado, I'm out. Yeah!